Hello and welcome to another edition of Motor Capital. This footage was from Monday, January 29th. We're going to give you a Regent Court update. And I used the camera functions, special effects. They have a feature on there, negative art, and that seems to be appropriate or apropos if you prefer for an event such as this when a building is coming down. But they couldn't determine a good reuse for this building. I guess they crunched the numbers and they wanted to start from scratch. It's a businessman from Dearborn Heights that's going to tackle this project. It's like 34 acres and it's going to be mixed use, but the businessman that bought the place wants to put places for people to live. Thinks here in the Midtown area we should have some more people living in the city of Dearborn, and I think that might be a good idea. Off yonder is the Ford World headquarters, and they have security here. But I wanted to kind of get a better view. So there's a parking lot. I'm right near the Salt and Pepper Shakers. This is the Ford Road in Southfield neighborhood, the southeast corner. And Ford Motor Land Development owned all this property. In fact, Ford owns a ton of property in Dearborn, but they were willing to part ways with this parcel. And so this is Urban Planning 101, but it's this is a major player. This is a big to-do in Dearborn. And I can't stress it often enough or kind of keep reinforcing it, but urban planning is paramount. It's super duper important because it's not just onesie, twosie, 1 week, 1 month. Urban planning, if you do it right, you're setting the course for the next generation or two with how you use the land. If you do it properly, everybody benefits. So the city leaders, politicians, business people, all that have to work hand in hand with the citizens too. Give the people what they want, most definitely. What they don't want is this, though. This is goose poop. And it shows up good with this negative art. They're like little landmines. And we had that cold weather, which is not so bad when things are frozen. But now that we had a little bit of a frost, things have gotten gooey again. So you got to watch your step. But, yeah, this is just a Regent Court update. We're going to get a few more as we go around. This Regent Court had a courtyard in the middle of the building. It was kind of like horseshoe shaped, and the demolition is taking part, on both sides, and they're going to kind of meet in the middle where the main atrium is. So this would be the western side of the building. They haven't gotten to the tallest portion yet. There's the smaller, I call them like the scavengers, the crows or whatnot, but they're sorting material here on the bottom. And it's trying to get a name for the big guy that does the major amount of damage. I was thinking Big Bertha or Big Bubba. But I'm thinking these are some extra attachments that could be attached to the big guy. It's back there, you can see it, kind of the horseshoe shape there, but it's taking a breather right now. It is not in operation, but I gave it some thought. I think I might call it Fred in honor of Fred Flintstone, because I think, if I recall correctly, he worked like in a stone yard or whatever, and he had a yabba dabba doo like dinosaur that he would You'd operate the dinosaur and move rocks around. I'd have to take another look and see how all that went down. That was when I was a kid, and things have gotten fuzzy-wuzzy since then. But, yeah, I'll call it Fred. Because at the end of the day, what he yabba dabba do, and he blow the horn, and it's like Miller time kind of thing. But, yeah, but some of this other heavy artillery, it's kind of interesting. I love watching these things in operation. And better yet, I'd love to take a spin in one of these things, get a quick demo lesson and an operator's lesson on how to move one of these things around, and I'd be good to go. All you would have to do is like that commercial where that junk removal, all you have to do is point. Just point. Poof, it's gone. But yeah, just point me which building you want demolished, and I'd go after it. I love watching these the tank tracks here too. This stuff's like mesmerizing for me. I'm just a little kid at heart. And I've been indoctrinated. This goes way back. I know in some of the darker recesses of my brain, I got indoctrinated with the Tonka toys and the sandbox and digging and picking things up and putting them down kind of thing, and just displacing dirt from hither to thither. I got quite good at it, as I recall. Back in the day, I don't know if there was any other kids that could compare. We'd have to have a competition, but I was good at moving dirt. All right, across the way is a Walmart. This is Ford Road, a big east-west thoroughfare, and there's your Southfield. So this is a heavily traveled corridor, to be sure. But yeah, there it is. Soon to be totally leveled. But yeah, they're working down yonder. I like this negative art kind of picture effect thing. It works good with fireworks too. So in the summertime when shooting off fireworks, this is a good special effects kind of thing. I don't normally use the special effects. I like just straight shoot video in a chronological order and just run with it and just give people what it was. But yeah, I'm playing games here a little bit, just seeing. I've known this camera has this feature, so I use it every now and then. You can see the operator in the cage over there. But, yeah, they're in the process of sorting. But this will be interesting when it's all said and done, what we're going to end up with here in Dearborn. It's been a while since we've had, like, a huge major development in the city. And we have urban planning is paramount, but we got a lot of big projects. This one they're certainly working on, but the Hyatt Regency is another one. Village Plaza is another one, and there's a few others that we can tackle, but those are kind of the biggies. All right, well, if you wanted to call, I might have to call back and see when they're gonna wrap around and get to the atrium. Because this might be another month or two before it's all said and done. There's the official sign. Yeah, I think they were scheduled to be done by in December of last year, 2023. But I think they had trouble with the Fred Flintstone crane, Freddie. They had to. Okay, that's the end of the tape. And so that was your update there. What I got to do is switch tapes. So hopefully you know the routine. It goes to a blue screen. I pop the one tape out. Second tape is in. You get, okay, press play. This is not the newfangled dangle technology. This is old school with the, it's kind of like cassette tape type stuff. It's not digital. All right, det.com is the website. In case you missed a show and want to go back, I have links to the latest shows. That's not perfectly, I don't do it like clockwork, but as a rule, I will update my website every week and put up the new shows, but sometimes I'm lazy or circumstances dictate that things change. But you can walk your dog around here. Yeah, off yonder is the glass house, and that building is timeless. It's just a gorgeous building, that blue-green glass there. Yeah. But this is where I parked. This is an abandoned office warehouse. So, yeah, urban planning, too. Not just the Hyatt Regency, but also this whole Fairlane Mall. This is overbuilt. And this is abandoned right here, this office plaza, these two big buildings. But, yeah, look at here. This abandoned since 2018. I was told a businessman from New York purchased the building a couple years ago. But there it sits, and I haven't seen anything happen over here. Even though, well, you could bring the crane down here and take this building down, too, if you want, while you got the crane. I'm thinking they could use that crane for Village Plaza because that building's been condemned. Has asbestos issues and also plumbing issues. But the Hyatt Regency is a solid building. Good design, pleasing to the eye, and a good location here on the northwest corner of Michigan Avenue and Southfield Expressway. So, yeah, another look at the glass house here and the traffic along Southfield. Here's that guy walking the dog again. So he lives in these are luxury townhouses or condos. Maybe we'll see the sign when I walk around the front. Maybe apartments, condos, townhomes, whatever. All right, here's Michigan Avenue. Evergreen will take you up to Fairlane and swing you in from the west side. But yeah, they got a nice parking lot back here, a nice berm around the place. This is the side view, not as attractive. A lot of cement there, but they do have security at the main entrance there, which is good. You got to protect the building. Plus, I don't know if they can get the restaurant to spin around again like it did back in the day. Back when I was in high school, we had our we rented a room after graduation. It was a big to-do because graduated in 1978. I know that was last century even. That's a long time ago, but yeah. I think it was completed in 76 or 77. Plus they had a monorail that would run here to the mall. That was when it was all fresh and new. This is the different camera effects now. And so that's solarized. It kind of pixelates things. That's slim. That's stretch. That's back to slim. Now I'm going back up. Mosaic. Or one of these. One's sepia, one's black and white. That, I think, is sepia. That's negative art. And then I'll go back here just to normal. Just wanted to see. But yeah, beautiful building. I like the architecture on the Hyatt Regency. The last incarnation was George. Or George's, or whatever. Here's the mall, and it's underutilized. Macy's is still an anchor store here, but Sears and JCPenney, they've closed. We got Orange Barrels. So lovely. But look at this huge-ass parking lot. This is urban planning, too. This is underutilized space. Dearborn could get like a small little amphitheater like Freedom Hill. Have like little mini concerts. Good enough for the size of Dearborn. Look at what the city of Plymouth has when they have their Friday concerts in Kellogg Park. Look at what the city of Milford does. I think they have their concerts like on Thursday night. They have a nice amphitheater that's kind of natural, like a walking park kind of thing. We could landscape something here. If you need dirt moved around, I can help with that. Here, Fairlane Town Square, that's what they call these luxury places. But look down yonder, they're still building up. These are popping up like mushrooms. But you got some fresh lumber out there, so. And they got a bunch. There's a carpenter, more than likely, down yonder, providing good construction jobs. We need to build more construction. Everybody's hooting and hollering to get workers for the different trades, but I used to work in the construction. I was a glazer, so I'd put in like doors and windows. Plenty of years doing that, but yeah, construction, you can get good jobs. You're not sitting at a desk. Every day is different. And at the end of the day, you just built something. You can look back and say, yeah, I built that. There's a sense of accomplishment. So shout out to all the construction workers out there or people that want to get a job in the trades. It's a decent career. And you get out and about and you see the real world. You're not tied to a desk or a computer screen. Oh, yeah, if you have attention deficit syndrome, I think I have some version of that. I don't like to be tied down to a desk for too long. But, yeah, well, we're just taking a spin out front here. There might be a place here where they put a few benches and you can watch traffic go by. Oops, there's a step there. I had missed that. That could have been a disaster. But here, no bike trails or walking paths. So if you got to get to Fairlane, take a car because it's not pedestrian friendly, kid friendly, pet friendly, anything friendly. They do have sidewalks in front here. That's good. So maybe they're getting with the program. They got some new trees here and some shrubbery and bushes. This might be real nice when it's all said and done. Oh, it wasn't George. It's Edward. I don't know why I thought George. Maybe I was thinking that expression, let George do it. But yeah, it's locked up here. The main entrance here. Yeah, there it sits. Since 2018, folks. 6 years been abandoned. So I don't know if my generation, well, yeah, the baby boomer generation. So young whippersnappers just have to say, okay, boomer. But yeah, what's going to happen with this? Another 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, 20 years? When are these young whippersnappers going to come up with a game plan? And it's probably not young whipper people. It's people that bought the place and maybe are hoping they get bought out. That's typically it goes. Oh, you got to worry about the goose poop things. So if you got boots that have those thin little tracking things, oh, that can be a mess. But I digress. Oh. But yeah, here's the building, the office building right next to the high end. What's going on with this? So there's a south building, and you guessed it, yeah, there's a north building too. But yeah, this is empty. The last use of this was for the parking lot. There was a shitload of F-150s. In fact, there were F-150s all over Dearborn. Any available lot had F-150s as they were waiting for computer chips or whatnot to come from Taiwan or China or wherever out in the Far East. And, yeah, that was around the COVID era. This is the emergency exit only. They got places here for the lunch crowd. Some nice benches. There's the glass house. Yeah, Dearborn could do a lot of urban planning. And everybody can have a game plan together, come up with some ideas. It's like, I know the problem with spouting off and saying, oh, we could do this or that. Oh, when you find a nice puddle, that's good for cleaning your boots. So I took advantage of that. But yeah, but anybody can do urban planning. I know the knee-jerk reaction is going to be, oh, you son of a bitch. You think you're so goddamn smart. No, anybody can come up with ideas or suggestions. And just because I come up with a suggestion doesn't mean it's right or the best idea or whatever. But somebody can either build on it or discount it, so I don't keep mouthing off about it and just say, yeah, we got to move on. That suggestion ain't going to work. But we have to have these discussions. I'm sure they do at city council meetings and the like. But we need more activity with the common man, the grassroots type people, to be able to pipe in on urban planning. And if you want to help the environment, I can do just a little thing. You can do the battery recycling thing here at the library. So in South Dearborn Heights, this is where I go. There's the Carolyn Library on North Dearborn Heights you can use, and I'm not sure if the city of Dearborn, they must have one of those things too. All right, my dad used to say that to my mom back in the day when they were fighting a little bit. I guess it was a nice way to put it, I guess. But yeah, that expression has come back, but it's great for Michigan because there's a lot of lakes. Anyways, this was the next day on the 30th, so we were getting some snow. We're taking bets on when that thing's going to collapse, but anyways, I got to paint my garage too, come to think of it. But yeah, the snow sure looks good. This guy doesn't look good. Man, he wants to be a dictator. This guy, I don't know. Some people just don't get it. I don't know. He's got a cult-like following, and it's just, I don't understand the psychology of all of this, but this guy's in it for himself. He really is. Oh, and check this out. Listen up on this.
Biden, and just to play this out, they don't vote for President Biden. And they either vote for Donald Trump or don't vote, and could potentially tip the scales when it comes to the numbers to Donald Trump in your very important state of Michigan. How would that be better for your constituents than President Biden?
For us, we have survived the Trump presidency 4 years ago, and I'm not blind to what's being said by Donald Trump and other Republican presidential candidates. However, Democrats nationally need to reckon with the question of what does it mean for them to potentially lose thousands of voters on the response to this human rights issue, and what are they going to do about it? The question you posed me is actually a question that should be posed back to the president. What will he do to regain the trust and respect of the Arab American and broader Muslim American community? And the position that we're taking, one in which we're demanding a call for a ceasefire, is actually the position of the majority of Americans. Over 60% of Americans support a ceasefire. Over 80% of Democrats support a ceasefire. So this is not out of line and out of touch of the general American people.
Do you want Hamas to release all of the hostages that they have if you want the ceasefire?
Absolutely, and I would love for Israel to release the thousands of hostages that they also have. All hostages should be released unconditionally.
Okay, because I hear a lot about a ceasefire, but not about the innocents who are also being held inside Gaza.
We have a very strong value statement. I do not believe that any innocent man, woman, or child should be killed, and that there's no qualifier to this statement. Anybody not calling for a ceasefire is instituting a qualifier, that there is a justification at any point in time for the killing of any innocent man, woman, or child. So I call for the release of all hostages on both sides, immediately and unconditionally, and also for the ceasing of the killing, the cessation of all killing, a ceasefire of any innocent man, woman, or child.
Okay, I'd love to have more of a policy discussion with you after this and in another time, because I really appreciate you coming on and having this discussion.
Thank you for having me.
Coming up, conspiracy theorists have some facts.
Wowie kazowie, that was the mayor of the city of Dearborn speaking live on CNN. Well, how about it? No, we have to have strong Arabic voices give the moderate or the progressive view of what's happening out there in the Middle East and figure out a solution. Yeah, a ceasefire would be a great start. I don't know. They've killed like 25 or 27,000 people already. That's nuts. When is that going to stop? Oh, last weekend I went to that Outer Limits Lounge. That's a good community board there that can tell you new events coming up. The Metro Times, you can pick this up. This was on a Wednesday evening, but the Dirty Show, have I mentioned that? That's coming up this weekend and next weekend, and that is an event to be sure. That is a quote-unquote only in Detroit type event, at least for now. In the future, that might go national because that's too much fun, that Dirty Show. Unfortunately, I can't bring the camcorder in there, but I can take some pictures with my cell phone, so we'll see how that goes. That's a work in progress. But first, to round out the top of the hour, Northville Downs. How about it? This is a blast from the past. There were some people say no to a new horse track. So, yes, protests going on here. Last day for animal abuse. Wow. So, whew. Yeah, they were doing their thing. But, yeah, this is the last day for Northville Downs. I mean, times they are changing. Is this kind of going to go the way of the typewriter and the top hat and bell-bottom jeans and stuff like that? There's my friend Darren. We decided we're gonna check this place out. This is the main desk. You can buy your programs, $2. But this land has become too valuable. They are going to up and move to 5 Mile and Ridge Road, depending if the city council can approve it. It's up for debate because there's a lot of NIMBYs, not in my backyard type people. And so, yeah, to get a horse track approved, you're going to have to grease the wheels, twist people's arms, and oh my Lord. But we're going to enjoy this while we can. This was the general admittance seating area. What was nice with horse racing, there was no general admission. I thought DRC had a nominal admission of $2 or $3, but here's the tractor that grooms the track. And, yeah, so this was a Saturday night, February 3rd. And their scoreboard is horrible. There's a lot of light bulbs burned out, and it's almost like a different language. I know it's numbers there. There's exacta, but can you make it heads or tails on any of that? Then they got the wind place and show pool. I think they rotate, but yeah, they're going to need to update in a nice LED scoreboard if they redo it. And this is the finish line, that white pole across there. So the finish line is not really delineated quite well. Oh, we're proud to be American for sure. Alrighty then, let's go racing. 36 degrees and clear in the beautiful city of Northville. Post time, there was 11 races on the program. First one was to begin at 7. There's the stables, I guess. Would that be the official name? And there's harness and there's thoroughbred. Thoroughbred, excuse me. It's where, yeah, it's probably animal abuse, yeah, because the jockey is riding right on the back of the horse. So, yeah, I guess that would be pure animal abuse. But harness racing, you have a little two-wheel contraption behind, kind of like trotting, I think is the official speed. They can't get into gallop mode because then they'll be disqualified. But, yeah, if they stay in trot mode, they're okay. But I don't know if it's animal abuse if you do the harness. Apparently, I think some of the protesters still think it is. But there was a good crowd on hand. And, yeah, they dimmed the lights at the start. And the truck will lead them down. I don't know if that's a Ford. We'll have to see if we can make that out. Looks like a Jeep. Or maybe it's a Hummer. But yeah, they're off. And it's a half-mile track, so they do 2 laps. So this is lap 1. Okay, lap 1 complete. We got 1 more lap to go. They have a nice viewing area, and certainly in the wintertime you're enclosed. So it's good in the summertime. You want to be out in the free air, but this ain't bad. And down the stretch they come. Yeah, they kind of spotlight the finish line there with a big beam of light across there. Not well defined. It's kind of a broad light. They had a whole bunch of checkout windows at one time back in the day when they were all operated with real live people, but now you go to a betting machine. You can still find, we'll still find some ticket takers, but a lot of people were using the electronic machines. So that's where they were coming in and out of the, I'm just going to call it the stable area, but that's where the barns and all that were. And so a big general, I'm at the far eastern side here. They still, I don't know what the total attendance was for seats. At the far end, they had bar and refreshments, but the concessions weren't open at this end. And, yeah, I don't know, Northville Downs, if they made a profit. I think the land just became too valuable. It's so close to the downtown area. I think the offers probably started coming in like, hey, would you sell the place? So they probably got, the owners probably got tempted in that regard. I'm not sure what the numbers were on all this, but nowadays you can get a lot of information on your own. Just go to the Google search bar, or DuckDuckGo maybe, so they don't track what you're up to. But put in Northville Downs. Here it says revitalize, don't replace. Save the Downs. So, yeah, you can, if you're real quick with your phone, go ahead and scan that. If I can get it in focus, that should work. But, yeah, this is urban planning, too. This is huge. Oh, this is all locked up. That's probably where the officials get up to the photo finish area. And then, but look at this area. Well, here, there's some electronic machines. I think there were some real live people there. And they have simulcast here, too. So we'll see the machines. They got computers set up. If you get there early and often, you could get a nice chair with all that. And then they had food on the menu. I don't know what all that costs to get that. Not only that, but look, meatballs by the tray full. Those look good. I wonder if those are the IKEA-type meatballs. Those are great. Here you go. Thank you, 30 years. So, yeah, this was the last day. So I'm sure a lot of people were having memories and that kind of stuff. There were a lot of families, too, which was kind of neat because you had the kids. You had that younger generation. If you want to indoctrinate the kids, you got to start them when they're young. The good thing about this place, it's free. It was free to get in. So, you could take the kids by the truckload, and you didn't have to pay extra for them, which is great. But if you wanted to buy food, certainly you would have to. If they get hungry, God, feed them at home before you take them. But that was a menu here, the trackside kind of thing. And then down on the bottom, these were the serious people when they had the desk and the computer screens. And then I'm going to the lower level. Beers were affordable, $6. And then Simulcastle Meadowlands, I would believe that would be New York. Delta Downs, not sure where that one is. A lot of them are in Florida. Certainly at this time of year, you're more limited. But look at the good crowd. People would say, oh, yeah, if it was like this every day of the week, we'd still be in business. But times they do a change. Now, horse racing, it's not like what it used to be. What do people like NFL football right now? They like pickleball. But here, somebody shut the screen down. I don't know if you get that window, you can operate this window shade kind of thing and block out everyone else's view, but apparently so. They have quite a few different beers to choose from. But yeah, with horse racing now, it's only the big boys, the Triple Crown and the Kentucky Derby. MTP, minutes to post. That's an acronym probably the younger people don't even know what that means. Minutes to post. But yeah, Kentucky Derby 150 this year. That should be something. If weather permitting, I might decide to go down there. That's going to be a biggie. But yeah, it's a big show for those Triple Crown races. But a lot of times you go to the horse track now and it's just the boomer generation and beyond. God, there was a big horse race facility in Chicago, like Rolling Meadows. It's near Chicago O'Hare Airport. God, I can't remember the name, but they're thinking of putting the new Chicago Bears stadium over there at Soldier Field. Well, it'd be a new football. All right, here's some young kids. They got like a front row rail thing. Here, let's watch this. Yeah, the kids were getting pretty excited about it. That's cool. That's like the official photographer, so she kind of does a winner's circle thing and a few photos with the horse, the jockey, and the trainers, owners, and such. But yeah, Chicago's going to give up on their horse racing facility, and they're still going to see if they're going to put up a dome stadium for the Bears to play at. But a lot of traditionalists like Soldier Field, so that remains to be seen what happens there. Okay, one more lap to go. It's so much fun. They do two. Here's a look at the facility. In recent years, certainly you can see they could have put some money into the upgrades, but I don't know how the dollar amounts work out. There's the line going across. That's official. I don't know if you saw that line, but here we go. This is exciting. It always is. So let's listen in.
Those in front as they turn Boulevard. On the inside is our
I have no idea who won, to be honest with you. This was so exciting, though. I didn't even place bets. I didn't bring my reading glasses to read the program. You have to be under good light or have your glasses, and I wasn't going to fight it. I said, hey, this is the last day. I'm going to walk around, make sure I don't miss any nook and cranny kind of things. So it's okay. I didn't bet. Gambling's not good. Darren bet, but yeah, I don't think he. Let's see.
Not a lot.
He didn't win the first race. I think he won money on the second race, but he had trouble redeeming his ticket. So we'll show that to you later. But the crowd, really started piling in here. And, it looked kind of really neat. This was fun on a Saturday evening, but the big crowd obviously here because this was it. I guess, they'll have simulcast for a few more days. And then I should read the article. I pulled it up on my phone, so let me see. But they have a neat little staircase here. Here's just some of the that's a nice piece of art back there. And then this was the Trackview Deli. Hot dog was $2.75. Hamburger $4.25. But those might be old prices. We don't know how many years ago that was from. You could get a Victory cigar too. Well, you could tell from the cigarettes. Can you still get a pack for $6.75? I think they probably sell them for $10 or so. You need glasses for that kind of stuff. Or with the camcorder, I can zoom in. It's got a 20-to-1 optical zoom. All right, so this is, replace people. Here's Darren trying to do his ticket thing. Look at this. Blank document. What is he doing here? Now he's trying to cash in a losing ticket. Try again.
Blank document.
The machine just ate his winning ticket. Oh my gosh, that's just horrible. I mean, I shouldn't be laughing, but you heard the machine just crunch it up. I don't know if that happens to a lot of winning tickets or what, because it was like blank document, and then he flipped it around or whatever he did, and it just decided to eat it. That's why it's when you have a real live person, you can address those type of issues, Now the machine gobbled it up, and it's like, what to do? God, you hate when that happens. All right, so simulcast with, but that's getting ready for the Northville Downs race. I don't know if they simulcast this course at other places in the country, but Darren's trying to get a ticket in with a live person there. Sell or cash. That's what he should have done in the first place. Yeah. All right, they're off. I think that's a Hummer that's leading the horses around.
good view.
Doesn't do shit for us.
Number 6 got
I'm just too short to see all that. But here, yeah, back to where the finish line is, and we'll get the picture time.
First on the season, wild time, 157 flags.
5:55 a.m.
That was I'd go again.
How are the roads? I'm looking back at my eyelids right now. Walk outside and so now it's a good right? So 5:59 carried.
Yeah, this was all interesting for me because it relives the times I've been to the track in the past, but it's been a while since I've been to Northville Downs, actually quite a few years. So when I heard of the news that this was the last day, I had to check it out. There's a closer look at the track. It's fast. You can just tell. Look.
Right at you.
Yeah, the youngsters were getting into it, and that's what was nice. It was like a kid-friendly type event, other than the abusing of the animals. I don't know why I was having trouble with that. Animals. But, I don't know. And I wanted to get a closer look around at the barns and all that, because it was just there, and it'd be fun to see how they set up and do all that. I'd like to do a 360 and catch the scene as best I can, but this is about as close as I'm going to get to all that action, unfortunately. All I would have to do is step on the cinder block, then on the barrel, then a foot on the top of the fence, and I'm in. My evil twin. But no, it'd be like, where's security? But no, you kind of got to document things here. But I knew better. My evil twin, I can beat him back, or just say no, right? Isn't that what you're supposed to say? Here, though, maybe they are beaming all this, like beam me up kind of thing. But yeah, they do that simulcast thing, so yeah, maybe other people are checking in on what's happening in Northville. All these things will be souvenirs certainly later on. And then Local 4, yeah, they were on the scene, as were the police from Northville. I like that little curly Q on the entrance there. But we'll take Google Maps on your cell phone is great. So I'm at the north end of the property, and I'm going to do a 360 around the perimeter of the place, kind of get a lay of the land. So they got a lot of parking out there, as you would expect. But they're on top of kind of like a little hill here, which is the lower, well, part of the city limits, certainly, but the main business district. So even from way off yonder, you can still take a peek into the track and see the far side there. But yeah, we're getting ready for Valentine's Day, so they got clothing, jewelry, bring your wallet. But yeah, a little high fashion it looks like over here, if you're into that kind of thing. If fashion is your passion, I can appreciate fashion. It's just I don't do it personally. It costs too much money. And who needs all the attention? Maybe my evil twin wants it, but not me. All right, so the light's off in the distance. And then this is where the horse trailers and the pickup trucks and all that, this is where they kind of hang out. Maybe I could have found a way through the barn area through there. There's patriotic homes along this way. And there's a harness there. So I'm going to miss a race as I'm kind of floating around back here, but there's some hustle and bustle here. It's kind of melancholy or whatever to think that this is the last day, you know? But they're going to redevelop this. So Gardner and River Street. River Street runs north-south. Yeah, this is part of the Upper Rouge River. You can see some of the, right near here, a couple of the branches combined together. So you are in the Rouge River watershed. You can go left or right here because this is 7 Mile. So now I'm at the southern edge, but the horse track's certainly where all the bright lights are. Not many lights here on 7 Mile. It's relatively dark here. And then a tie into Edward Hines Drive, and we know Edward Hines is a floodplain. So this urban planning and all that, of course, you got to take that watershed into consideration. Oh, here we go. Yes, indeed. You have to take Mother Nature into consideration on all urban planning decisions. All right, Sheldon Road to the left. It's the same street, but they call it Center Street here on the north. Go figure. But historic downtown, shopping and dining, civic district. We got a bike lane. We need more bike lanes in Dearborn. All right, well, there's a little gap kind of in the fence, so it was like, wow. The horses, yeah, it was kind of that heavy humidity kind of thing. So even though it wasn't spectacularly cold, it was kind of that, we've been experiencing the fog type thing. Heavy mist, but yeah, it was one of those nights. Look at all the people. There's like hustle and bustle and all that. It was a nice vibe. So maybe there is room for horse racing still in the Detroit metro area. Some of the old timers, myself included, will remember Detroit DRC. Some might remember Hazel Park. Some Windsor Raceway. Maybe Toledo Raceway. But they're all gone. This was the last. There might have even been some others even before my time that I can't remember. But yeah, to think, yeah, we might have, if they rebuild, we might still have one. But who's to say? Let me read this article if I got enough time. This was published on the Detroit Free Press. Laura Colvin, hometownlife.com. Maybe it was I don't know if she's a regular writer for them. Oh, they had a clubhouse here. So I just made a loop, and there's no admittance fees, so you can just get right back in. And what's nice, too, is you don't have to be there for the first race. You know, if there's 11 races, you can come at the 6th, 7th, 8th race, whatever floats your boat, and just get your racing on for a little bit and then call it a night. But let me see if I can read this and not miss the race kind of thing. But this article was written back on January 18th of 2024. Oh, they're off. All right. It says Northville Downs, the last horse racing track in Michigan. Wow, in Michigan, the whole state, will cease operations at its current location early next month, the Michigan Gaming Control Board said in a press release this week. The final race at the harness track is scheduled for February 3rd. Scheduled live race days include the 18th, 19th, 26th, 27th, and 2nd and 3rd. It continues. The Michigan Gaming Control Board expresses our deepest gratitude to all of the Northville Downs patrons who have made each race day memorable and thrilling. MGCB Executive Director Henry Williams said in the press release. Okay, it goes on. We appreciate the support of those who have kept Northville Downs going for 80 years and look forward to the next chapter of horse racing in Michigan at a new location. In-person simulcast wagering will end February 5th, the press release said, noting Northville Downs will announce the return of simulcast wagering after it reopens at a new location. Winning patrons must cash in wagers by February 10th to Northville Downs, so take note of that. Opened in 1944, the Northville Downs facility. Hang on. Okay. So that was that race. Okay, let's see, where was I? Okay, it opened at 301 South Center Street. Is expected to meet the wrecking ball this year as developers, here we go, make way for a $250 million project that will include new homes, commercial space, and parks. Northville Downs is currently proposing a new facility near the corner of 5 Mile and Ridge Roads in Plymouth Township. The proposal has been met with opposition from some members of the Plymouth Township Board of Trustees and from members of the community. You're going to have those NIMBYs. It's like not in my backyard. I moved in and lived here all my life, and you're not in noise, traffic, congestion, and lowering of property values. No way. But anyways, I digress. Last week, an attorney for Northville Downs sent a letter to Plymouth Township officials alleging they are making illegal requests for extra money in exchange for plan approvals. In a strongly worded letter to township officials, attorney Mike Cox called on the township to drop its demand for a community benefit agreement and move ahead with a vote on the planned unit development agreement at its January 23rd meeting. So it's definitely a go. They're going to move out of here and tear this down and put up a new development. The question is as to whether they can have more horse racing at a different place. Folks, though, that's good. I'm going to have to cut this short just for an hour, but on the local yokel, I'll have the other portion of this, and I think I'm going to redo some of this because I got the time. But, folks, thanks for watching. Have a great evening. Good night.